Hello and welcome to Flory Models Daily Show. Here we are on Thursday the 8th of August 2019. Normally we don't do a show, this sort of early evening one like this one on a Thursday. It's normally a live show with me and the guys at 7:30. Please remember there is no live show tonight. Okay, what we're going to do is postpone it and we're going to have it tomorrow because as most of you probably know, the entire team are coming down here for the weekend for our annual get together, the odd drink and a few giggles and things like that. So they're all going to be down here from sort of midday onwards tomorrow. So plan of action is we're going to have a live at 5 special with the team in here because the weather apparently is going to be horrendous. So we're all going to be stuck in here. So if you've got any questions, anything else like that for any of the team, post them up. It will probably be more of a laugh and a giggle than a normal show just because trying to get this lot all together is literally like herding cats. They are a nightmare, especially to get them all in one place at one time and try and be half sensible. Yeah, I don't know what happens, but there's something happens between us all. We get together and it all goes to pot. So anyway, that's the plan of that one. So as I say, questions, you know, it doesn't have to be modelling related, us as a group, whatever you want to know, please post them up in the Ask the Team area and we'll go through those live tomorrow at 5 o'clock for you. This week for me has been incredibly busy purely because I've been working on the Vault system. Now the Vault is the old classic videos from basically Flory Models last 20 years. A lot of these are roughly between 10 to 15 years old. That's the old Pro Modeler days if you remember it. And then obviously more the modern ones which are sort of 7 years and newer, which are all in the new format and everything else like that. They are obviously out for you to see right now. So I have been working hard on the Vault and there's a couple of things I thought I would share with you, a couple of little gems. So this is the Vault system. You'll basically get full details about getting into here and what you can do with it and all tomorrow. So behind each of these thumbnails is the entire video build, okay, for it. So you'll probably remember some of these gems that we've got down in here. So obviously a lot of these are making a return. There's 33 in here. Some of you guys might not have ever seen any of these builds, and there's some in here you definitely won't have seen. We've got some classics in here like the Airfix magazine one we did for them, for their Canberra. We've got some that haven't actually seen the light of day for many years purely because of audio problems. Now we've got around that, so they've still got their original sound files such as the Abrams build and obviously the Strike Eagle build as well. Those haven't been available now for a good 10 years, but we've managed to do a walk around with those and get those on. Same with the F14 as well, so that is on, and some of these other ones. Some classics we've redone, so you might want to go back and see how they were done the first time round, sort of 15 years ago, and moving on. As you can see, a lot of these are logoed as sort of Pro Modeler. Classic old favourite as well, one of the first ones we ever did was the Lancaster build, and that is down in there, so you might not have seen that one before. A lot of people asking, ever done an Apache? Yes, we had, but again, it was in the old format, so it's all been reformatted. They're not the best looking ones, shall we say, and obviously the image quality is very poor because it was the best that was available back in the day. You might remember digital was still in its infancy doing this type of thing, so that was a thing. And a classic which we often speak about but never really got round to showing properly is this little one where we did a head-to-head between Alclad on the P47, so that's a full build of the P47 and the P51, and we tried to use acrylics on the actual P51 and we did a side-by-side direct comparison between the two. Again, admittedly, that video, that's about, I'm guessing that one's got to be about 17 years old now, so again, apologies. But this little one, when I was going through and reformatting it and putting it into, you know, today's style, it did sort of shake me up a little bit because, as you will see here, if we just go full screen and we play this. Hello and welcome to Pro Modeler. I'm Flory, and one of this month's builds we're going to be doing the Academy 148 scale H64 Apache. One of the references we're going to be using, I'm going to be using the lock-on data file book, actually on the Apache, which is quite handy because it's got nice detailed pictures all the way through. Nice jumper or what, that's the thing. So anyway, that is a very old classic. To be honest, that was in my very old house. The guys who remember back to around about the 2000s, that's around somewhere between 2000 and 2004 with that particular video build. It's timestamped when it was redone. We reformatted it, so it's got a copyright thing on the back that says 2008 on this one, but actually it was done a few years before that, before it was actually readily available. So yes, that is back in the day, one camera showing right the way through here. Again, it's one of those things. They're not the best image quality. My techniques have changed and things like that. But it is interesting to go through them all and see exactly what they are. And again, I presume a lot of you would never have seen this one here either. This is the very, very old school Jaguar, which we actually did.
Which obviously caused problems during painting.
So as you can see, I'll mute that so we don't get things. But we used aftermarket in here. We've got aftermarket seats in 1/72, looking at various ways of doing things and working our way through. So again, some very, very old classics down in there like that. So they're on a playlist. We said before, easiest way to do this one, you can put them in, go full screen, and then if you want to watch the next episode, you just literally hit the link and it will go along. You go next one. These are all in separate playlists, so they're very easy to just follow through and go through the motions of those just like that. But I know some of these haven't seen the light of day in 15 years at least since they were last shown. So obviously down here working on the Jaguar, for instance, it was some time ago that these were actually used and gone through. So again, yeah, it might just show you some nice things with weathering techniques and things like that. A lot of it's changed, but a lot of it's still relevant today. But it is, I suppose, the big thing is going through this, a lot of the tools I've got are still the same tools today. The tri-tool down the bottom here, that is the one that I still use every day. The reverse action clamps, they're the same ones. The orange scissors are still the same ones. So in a lot of ways, lots of things change with the hobby, and you know, you always get those things which just stay with you. Luckily though, it does look like that cutting mat has met its maker, thank God, because it's particularly rough and ropey down in there like that. One of the other sort of firm favourites is this one up here. We did the Lancaster. This was actually one of the first ever videos that we produced, I produced. This one was 2002. It was for the release, brand new, straight off the shelves that one was, for the Revel Lancaster, and we actually did that video of that one going right the way through. And again, it was one of those ones which, when you flick into the latter areas of this one, and we look at some of these further into there, the painting work and everything else, it is still relevant today. It's one of those ones where, you know, times might change, you know, things you use might change, things like that. But a lot of these techniques down in here are exactly the same as they were before. This is the famous haunted scene where something goes across the screen. To this day, we don't know what that is. Okay, but yeah, the Lancaster build down in there, right the way through. And again, what a fantastic build it was. It was a lot of fun, and some really dodgy jumpers as well by me. So anyway, this is the vault area. You'll be able to get into here as of tomorrow. So if you do want to see them, literally you just click on, and then like we've seen before, and you can either watch them in little mode, which might not be a bad thing in a lot of cases, because as I said, the resolution isn't that good. But you know, that's pretty much where we are with them. And obviously, the further nearer the top you go, the newer they are. Okay, so for instance, like the Spitfires and things like that down in here, you know, they're pretty much what you'd expect. We used to do a lot of camera picture-in-picture back work then, so we used to have two cameras, one as a sharp one as a sort of soft focus on there, and some of them, to be honest, are really, really good. I was actually looking at this one earlier, and this is the MiG-29. We did a full upgrade on that. It's a 10-parter, some great details on this one, and to be honest, this was when we were using our first HD camera as well, so that was in full HD, so yeah, very nice. There was a lot of sort of putting blades back in by the looks of it. See, that saw is still rubbish to this day. But anyway, that is your Vault 33 classic videos right the way through. And again, some of them are probably good for comedy value. Some dodgy haircuts, a lot of dodgy jumpers in there, but there is some gems in here as well. Full resin Tucano that we did. Again, the nightmare that is often we speak about, and you obviously don't see it, but now you can. The Trumpeter Corsair, which bit me all the way through, to some real nice ones like the SU-25 doing the leaf camo work, things like that, through to natural metal finishes, like as we did on this one, and right the way through. Some really, really interesting builds all through those right the way through. There is still God help me, more to come. There's more on these as we make our way through these, but it's one of those things. Some of them are in difficult formats for me to redo, so we need to sort that and go off. And obviously a lot of these come from our DVD range we used to do, so we're taking them from the DVD and having to try and upgrade them into HD and things like that, so they can't be done. But there is a few sci-fi ones still to move over. They're all in very good stuff, but they just need to be shifted in. So there's about 15 videos still outstanding to move across and sort out. I will get those done as soon as I come back off of holiday. We'll get those in. Some of them will go into the vault because they're older ones, but a lot of them are a lot more newer, and they'll obviously go into the new section just like that. Thanks for all the feedback yesterday on this little guy. Hold on, we need a different camera. We want to be that camera. So as you can see, the natural metal finish. Somebody or other was asking about, can you mask over it? The reason I didn't show it is because you can, clearly, because I showed it. But yeah, you can put this down and rip around at it, and as you can see, there's no silver on this. So once this stuff goes down, you'll have no problem with it at all. It's absolutely fine, so you don't have to worry about masking it and tearing off chunks and all things like that, because at the end of the day, like I always say, if it's a lacquer based paint, especially if you've got a primer down onto it, it's pretty much bulletproof. But the thing is, that goes for other stuff as well. It's, you know, it's not, I haven't detacked these in any way, and it's absolutely fine. Again, alclady type things I'm a little bit more, but once they're on and they've dried down, you won't leave any, you know, stuff behind. You should be absolutely fine. Trying on everything here to go everywhere. I'll put these down in here. You can see, spot the stuff that has been redone. So don't get that on you. But yes, of course you can do it. Again, you were asking about can you put solvents on it, like setting solutions and stuff like that. Yes, you can, because it's bulletproof. Don't forget, once this stuff goes off, it is literally as hard as nails. You're never going to have a problem with it at all. But anyway, thanks for all of that. A lot of you seem to agree, which is always good. If you don't like it, don't disagree with me. But you can see down in here, this is the AK Xtream. I have had lots of feedback on guys saying that you love AK Xtream Metals. They really work very, very easy. I do as well. I think they're the easiest one to use. But these, especially now they've dried, are absolutely fantastic. I can see myself using these a lot for hand painting because they're very, very good colours for hand painting. But if you do want a silver finish, and like we were saying, there's a big difference, I think, and some people are getting confused between a metallizer and a silver paint. A silver paint just gives that effect of being silver. So like high-speed silver, to be honest, like under the here, it's supposed to be a flat silvery colour because it is painted silver. You know, that's what it actually was. It wasn't metal been polished and all the rest of it like modern stuff. But if you're after that real metal finish, you've got two options. You've got this one down the back here. Sorry. You've got this one down the back here, which, to be honest, I polished up a little bit more. You can probably see it's absolutely gorgeous. This is the buffables, so it's Mr. Metal Colour buffables. They are absolutely fantastic. And again, if you're going to go for the sort of metally finish like we got down on this one, the Xtream Metals, but that is more for the plated type look to it, that sort of high metallic, you know, it's a metallizer, not a silver. There is a difference between the two, so it's well worth knowing them and knowing the limitations of both, and once you do, you'll have no problem with it at all. But there we go, Buster, now silver, just for a little bit as he makes his way through. Last up for today, we have this little gem. She is now completely finished off. The final parts are up on the actual site right now. You can go off and see the final one on this one. Really, we talk about the weathering, putting on the lumps, bumps, the aerials and all things like that. The pilot figure, obviously putting down the canopy, getting that fixed on. But more importantly, the stand. I know a lot of you have asked about the actual stand on this one. These are actually not me. These are Mark Model Designs. I've got the link up for you. You can go off and buy these, and Mark can do pretty much any type of stand, shadow stand you want. It does come in 3 sizes as well. This is the sort of medium one. I tend to like it. This is, I'm just going to double check before I say it, is the 250. I think for 48 scale, 250 is the right scale. But again, he does 350 and 150 for 70-second and 30-second scale aircraft as well. All right. But anyway, that's the last of that up. We show all about fixing the stand, how to bend it, how to get the height, how to glue it down, how to put a hole in your plane to mount it, and everything else. And then once it's on, it's fantastic. And to say she's locked in is not a problem, because the guys at the weekend will testify. I took it up with me to Doncaster, which from me is a 4.5 hour drive, and it just sat on the Literally just sat like that and made it all the way to Doncaster and all the way back. I didn't attempt to do anything. It just sat there on a seat, glued down, literally just moving like that and bouncing along and everything that she made her way along. But it's a good, strong stand. Again, you can get these direct from Mark. You can make pretty much anything you want, which is dead handy. So if you've got the weird and wacky ideas, he's got a little box system. You can put it down in there and do it. I'll put a full link, and everything is going to be actually on the actual main site, but also I'll link it in the show notes down below on here, as always. And that is about it. The last thing to say is, obviously I'm going to put it up tomorrow. A lot of you are asking about the footage we shot. I've managed to edit it to 2 hours worth of footage when we were actually doing this guy and doing it live. So I have edited it down and everything else like that, so you can see about this being painted. I'll be honest with you, compared to the setup we get in here, it shows how bad the lighting was in there. The lighting was truly awful trying to spray, and then obviously, you know, I have the guys holding lights and stuff like that. It's not fantastic. Obviously there's a lot of noise in the background because we are a store and there's lots of people downstairs as well, and it's just an open mezzanine level, so the audio's not brilliant, the camera work's not brilliant, and to be honest, my painting of this wasn't brilliant because we didn't have the right gear to sort of do it. But all of that said, obviously I will put the video up tomorrow, so you've got plenty to watch when I'm away next week. Speaking of which, if you want to get an order in, do it now, because the store will be closed as of midday for Flory Models products, and if you can order through the Flory Models site, we'll stop at midday tomorrow. That's the last opportunity, because I'm going to do a post run sort of mid-afternoon tomorrow afternoon, and then no orders will be processed then until the following Monday. Okay, so you can place an order, but you won't actually be able to have it sent until I get back, okay, because I'm not back to the following weekend. So from that point of view, if you do need washes, sanders or whatever, put your order in right now, because literally you've got, well, you know, 18 hours to get it in, and then obviously I'll be shutting the store down till then. Membership, if you want to sign up for Flory Models or anything else like that, is unaffected because it is completely fully automated, and the guys in the forum, if you've got any questions or problems or anything else like that, I'm sure they can help you out, and go for it. So that is about it from me. As I said, we will be live with you tomorrow, live at 5, but obviously if you can't join us live at 5, there will be a recording of that. Will go up after we finished as well, as always. So till tomorrow, everybody, happy modelling, take care.